Kelly Ann, and welcome to another Flossy Friday. Today is June 12th, which already still blows my mind every time I say it. Also, if you could see the Hot Mess Express that is on my table right now, my Lanta, guys. My Lanta. It's insane. It's a Hot Mess Express. There's a Hot Mess Express in the kitchen. It's called 2 giant sinks full of dirty dishes floating around in soap water. And it's also 2 giant piles of laundry that need to be put away, Hot Mess Express, in my bedroom. So there's little fires everywhere to put out later today. But let's just dive into it. So life update, Potter is doing fantastic, although he has had a rough week. He was not excited. I'm going to tie his life update in with mine. He was not excited on Monday that I was going back to work. I think he kind of figured it out on Sunday whenever I packed up my work laptop and all my binders and stuff from the kitchen table and washed his little blanket that he's been laying on the kitchen chair. So I think he kind of figured it out a day early, but he cried for 15, 20 minutes straight as I was finishing up, getting ready, and about to head out the door Monday morning. He wanted nothing but cuddles whenever I got home, and all the other days, he hasn't been crying as much whenever I'm leaving. He cries more whenever I get home because he wants attention like right away, and I can't give it to him soon enough. But I will say he has kept his distance in the mornings and like not hid, but like won't get too close to me because he's still a little mad that I'm going back to work. Otherwise though, guys, he's fine. He's being a little salty about life. I, however, am glad to be back at work. I didn't know if that was going to be a hiccup or not. I am glad to be back at work. It's nice to see people. I'm constantly back and forth in my own head personally about how quickly things are reopening here in Texas, but time will tell, and work said come in, and so I'm coming in. They are phasing us back, so every Monday more people will be returning. So they're trying to be safe and play it by ear, and there's like hand sanitize stations everywhere and copious amounts of soap and towels in the bathrooms, and they've added more trash cans so that way you can open all the different doors and all kinds of stuff. So they're trying to stay on top of it, and we're doing the best we can. Otherwise, working out and stuff is still going good and all of that jazz. So yeah, this weekend I am going to stitch and relax. I have a little bit of like stuff to do out in the yard, and obviously those little mini fires that I need to clean up and do something about in the house. Okay, second thing that I really want to talk about and address is Emily C. Eclectic Possessions here on YouTube and on Instagram's Duck Derby. Duck Derby. Guys, go buy some ducks. So Emily this year was going to do the same thing as last year where, okay, backtrack. I don't know 100% of all the details. I do know that you have until June 27th, I believe is what Emily told me last night. You have until June 27th to buy your ducks. So go buy your ducks. I will leave down below the link to go buy ducks, and I will also leave down below the link to Emily's video giving way more details than I ever could, and also how to enter her giveaway. So buying ducks helps their community. It helps children in the community, families in their community, and helps them do amazing social work in her area. They basically are going to have a virtual duck race this year. Usually there's like numbers on the bottoms of all these rubber duckies that they sold, and the ducks that win the race win grand prizes. I think she said like there's like a $10,000 grand prize. There's like iPads and stuff like that of that nature that have been donated. But then Emily also does a giveaway as well for those who bought ducks and send a snapshot or forward their receipt of purchasing of ducks to her email. So again, I'll link her video that says where to email and all that kind of stuff, and I'll also link the site to buy ducks. But this time, the number of ducks that you buy, you get an entry per duck. Last year, it was an entry for donating. This time, because the stakes are higher, you guys. So, initially, it was going to be, she was going to do the 2 custom bags. And if we got to 1,000 ducks, Emily was going to get a duck tattoo. If we got to 2,000 ducks, one of Emily's coworkers was going to get a duck tattoo. But now, farm girl Michelle, if we get to 5,000 ducks, she's going to get a tattoo. And from what everyone has told me, she does not want a tattoo. She doesn't have any. She doesn't want any. But that's why she set it at 5,000. I think the number is over halfway there. And it's only been a week and a half. Guys, we can do this. 1, let's help out a community. Let's help out kids and families. But also 2, let's get more people to get duck tattoos. Anyways, Emily and her coworker, the numbers already surpassed 2,000. So both of them are getting duck tattoos. So now it's just to get Michelle, Farm Girl Loves Goats, to also get a duck tattoo. But there are going to also be more prizes. There's going to be a quilt. There's going to be a hand-woven basket. There is a really cool hooked rug. Or it might not be a hooked rug. It's not like latch hook. I don't remember the technical name. Anyways, it's beautiful. And I think there's some other things that I'm not quite sure. All the different items. But those are going to be raffled by Emily. So you have a chance to win from the actual organizations, and you also have a chance to win from Emily. So again, I'm going to link both down below. Please check them out. It's for a great cause, and it also helps out a fellow Stitcher at her work. It is going to be a virtual duck race this year because of COVID and all of that. Coronavirus, but it should still be great. So let's dive into stitching. Now, I will say I would love to show you all of this in the order that it was worked on, but in the state that this table is currently in, we're going to go in the safest manner to not have an avalanche. So you're going to get to see everything, just maybe not in the order that I stitched it in, which, I mean, that's fine, right? Okay. There's just so much everywhere. I can't even. Okay, so I worked on 2 things on my lunch breaks this week because I actually had to sit at my desk for my lunch break. And so I took some stuff, and I talked about taking my Hands-on Design Secret Santa series and working on it. And then once those 2 were caught up, then I would switch to the other one that I worked on. I have a finish. I finished Santa number 3, and I decided that the next day, which happened to be Thursday, and since I left work early, I didn't get to work on it today, but all beside the point. I decided that instead of starting Santa number 4, I really wanted to get the Sewn in Friendship series finished before I started another Santa. So that is going to now be my lunch piece until both of those sections are finished. and then I'll go back to the Santas like I had talked about last week. So this is my Santa number 3. I should really move my tea. There's like no room on my table, so it's going on the floor next to me. That's fine. All right, so this is Santa number 3. This one's called Silent Night, ? This is by Hands On Design, and the fabric is a snowflake fabric by Fabric Flare, but I bought it from a shop out of California called dovestitch.com, all one word, on Etsy, dovestitch.com, and she carries mostly Fabric Flare fabrics, so you can find like the plaid, the one with the bats, the hearts, florals, the ones with the moons on them, all kinds of stuff. So go check her shop out. But that's where I got this piece. It is a 32 count even weave. And you do on that site have a couple of different fabric options, size of your fabric options, and also count of your fabric options. So you definitely get some variety on that Etsy store. But I know that you can find Fabric Flare from other shops and online as well. But that's just where I got this piece. I will be taking a photo of this and putting the information of my color changes on my blog this weekend. It might not be up today, but maybe tomorrow, so Saturday. Because I talked last week or the week before, how I revamped my blog and re-updated it. And I'm going to post finishes on there. And for newer finishes, I'm going to keep better track of my color changes and all that kind of stuff. Older whips, as they get finished, if I know the colors that I changed them to, I'll list it. And if I don't, I just don't. Okay, I don't always write it down. I'm trying to be better about that. But that is Santa number 3. The next one in the giant pile happens to be my Sewn in Friendship. And again, I changed all the colors of this. It will be on the blog once this half at least is finished. This is stitched on 32 count Picture This Plus Lugana in the color Memory. It's like a pinky purple. It's more purple, but there is like pink undertones to it. But I absolutely love this. So I have the words left, but they won't take that long. So I'm trying to work on this more like lace type border up at the top. And then I can fill in all the little hearts and the words. And then I'll move on to the Plum Street half of this. So both patterns are named Sewn in Friendship. One is by Heartstring Samplery, that's this one. And one is by Plum Street Samplers. You can stitch them both on the same piece of fabric because they were both model stitched on the same piece of fabric. However, I wanted to stitch them on 2 different colors, and I want to piece them together, and I need to re-ask Emily whose tutorial she watched to do that. And once I know that information and get to that step, I'll give y'all that information as well. But Emily C found a really awesome tutorial for her berry bowl sampler that she's doing on 2 different colors. I wasn't quite brave enough on my first try to do it pre-stitching. So we'll see how that works out, but I'll take y'all along for the ride. So that's where we're at with it. Okay. Moving right along. Okay, I am going to do a little finagling because I want to show my current project last. Okay. So last week I worked on my Halloween rules through Sunday, and this is how far I got. So there is the top, and that is how far I got. I am so impressed with how much time I spent on this last weekend and how fast it went. So I already had the first 6 rules done and the top banner. So I was working on the last half. And I got 3 rolls completely done and 1 half done. So brew some fun, stay up late, visit a haunted house, and greet a ghost. So once greet a ghost is done, which I just have the ghost and some eyes across the bottom, I have howl at the moon and be spooktacular at the very bottom. So those are the only 2 out of the entire design that I kept in the same order that they were intended to go in. So I'm getting really close to a finish on this. This is, did I already say this is 32 count Lugana on sterling? Because I honestly cannot remember. Again, goldfish brain. Lately, it's been really bad. I think the working from home made my brain even worse. So I'm hoping that being back at work will help with that goldfish memory, guys. Say a little prayer for that. But I really, really love how this is turning out. I cannot wait to get this thing finished. I'm so excited. And I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking in August, because July, the goal is my giant Harry Potter. My giant Harry Potter, a special little stitch that I need to work on, the Scary Apothecaries, keeping up with the Santa series, all that kind of stuff, but mostly my giant Harry Potter. I really, 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 really would love if I could get that finished or almost finished. And July is Harry Potter's birthday. So, I digress. August, I'm thinking, will be Halloween themed stuff. So I'm thinking August, I'll finish Halloween rolls because I can get that done in a week or less, right? Possibly in a weekend, give or take maybe a weekday. But I'm thinking Halloween rolls, maybe Plague Doctor, definitely Witches of Salem. Emily, Witches of Salem, we should get it back out. My Master Macabre piece. So I definitely have some Halloweens. I have some others. I have Black Cat Hollow Sal by Barbara Anna. Like, I have some Halloween pieces because I love I have that one from Frosted Pumpkin that came out 2 years ago. I can't remember. Anyways, I have some Halloween stuff to work on. I think that's what August is going to be. And then maybe September, I'll work on some of the more Christmassy themed stuff. So that way that stuff gets done. And then the end of the year will be just a crapshoot of whatever I feel like working on. So there's that. All right. This is all in just a minute. Okay. So what have I been working on this week? This week I chose to work on Lizzie Kate's Go Green series. And this is where I am. I am looking forward to getting some really good progress of this over the weekend. But I finished up the Save Water block, and I started on the Be Kind to Animals. I also finished the Bumblebee, the Be Well, and the Little Flowers down here. So my goal for this weekend is obviously to get Be Kind to Animals finished. And if anything, at least get... Keep the Air Clean finished, and then maybe only have like 1 block left. If I could get even more done than that, that would be fantastic. Keep in mind I do have some stuff to do this weekend, but I should also have a fair amount of stitching time. So that is where I'm at. This is on a piece of Pictureless Plus 18 count Ada in the colorway Ancient. But yeah, I've changed a lot of colors on this as well. I'm doing it all in DMC. Even the variegated for the squares is one of the DMC variegateds. It's actually 105. I only know that because it's sitting right next to me. But I've definitely kind of like taken it on my own. I have a yellow and an orange pulled for this pattern, obviously. But I wanted to make the fish pink. So... I'm not doing a straight, this symbol is always going to be this color in this. I'm kind of playing around with it based off of the square and how I want it to look. So, I am giving it my own flair what more could you ask for from me? So that's where this guy is at, and this is what I'm working on through the end of Sunday. Now, before we get into the tiny amount of haul, let us talk about plans for this month. So it was supposed to be Monday through Sunday every week of this month, except for 2 days. I was going to work on the Frosted Pumpkin Zodiac. I was going to work on Halloween Rules, Go Green, Christmas Rules, and Fruits by the Frosted Pumpkin. Hiccups. However, there are a couple things that came out in the last week or so, and I really want to start them because I'm starting them with some other people. So I don't know if this next week, and we'll see what happens, this next week might not be solely dedicated to one of the Sal patterns. I may also have a day or two of starting a couple other things. It may just happen. So let's talk about some of those other things. I ordered from Not Forgotten Farms. This is a 2016 Little Stitches Handwork Club pattern that has now been released for everyone. And it's called Heart in Hand. I love this pattern. I will probably stitch it without a wedding ring on because obviously I'm not married. But I really, really love it. I love it with the reminder ribbon and all of that. I love it. So I got that one so that way this one did not have to travel alone. I am jumping on the bandwagon. I was invited, but you never need an invite to join a Sal. You just don't. If you like it, join it. You don't need an invite. If you like it, join it. So, but I fell in love with this piece. Emily's is amazing. Michelle Bendy's is already done. She picked red handles for her scissors. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got to pick out my threads and I've got to pick out my fabric for this, but I love this. It says industry is the best cure for melancholy. And that is the best statement ever in any time going on in life, but especially right now. And I mean, just how ironic. You're going to use the tools to cure melancholy for a piece about those tools curing melancholy. You know what I mean? It's just, it's symbolic. It's great. I love it. I also decided that I needed to start the Tiny Modernist modern Ouija sampler, and I think I said that I had bought it last week, and it comes out on Monday, the same day as the release for the new part of the Zodiac sampler from the Frosted Pumpkin. So I told y'all last week that I bought it. So I'm gonna have to work that in sometime this week to get it started. I'm gonna have to. Okay, it's a Halloween piece. But it's only 3 colors, and since Bendy Stitchy Michelle has seen the whole piece, I said, okay, so what I know from it, these are the fabrics that I think might work. You pick because you've seen the thing. So she picked this. This is an 18 count fabrics by LJ. LJ does not make fabrics anymore, but this has been in my stash for a while. And honestly, this was fabric number 666. So also perfect for Halloween, but it's in the color Creamsicle. So this was his 666 fabric, I guess, that he sold. But it's in the color Creamsicle, and I absolutely love it. I think the Halloween colors are going to pop on it. So I'm really excited about that. And there's one more thing that I'm probably definitely going to have to start. Emily and I are probably going to start it I don't know. We haven't talked about a date. Maybe next week. I'm not really sure. But it is the United We Stand pattern by Teresa. I'm always afraid that Kogut. I think that's right. But it's called United We Stand. It's a PDF on her Etsy. It's gorgeous. I cannot wait to start this. So that is happening. Emily and I are going to be stitching this. I think there's a ton of other people also stitching it. I do not know what the hashtag for the Sal is. But that's easy enough to find. And also join in. Everybody, let's all stitch it. It's fantastic. It's $10 on Etsy on Teresa Kogut's. I can say it more if I'm looking at it. Kogut's Etsy page. So go check that out. That is about it though, you guys. I hope that y'all have had a fantastic week as well. If you're going back to work, or if you're still working from home or quarantining and all that kind of stuff, I hope that y'all are staying safe, sane, and stitching. And Potter and I just wish everyone nothing but the best and love and happiness. And leave me some comments down below. Let's have a conversation, because y'all know I say it every week. I love having conversations with you guys, or just DM me on Instagram because that's really fun too. And yeah, I will see you next Friday. Bye guys.